All right, welcome back. I just recently did a video for the knives with the best action under $500. I actually forgot a few from the collection, like the Sharp by Design Mini Tempest here is a fantastic one. Forgot, I think, the Quiet Carry Drift from that one. I can't remember if it was in there or not, but there are a few others that I missed, so I thought I'd pull these back out. And what I'm going to do is start this video with under 500, and then we'll work our way up 5 to 750, 750 to 1,000 above, something along those lines. If you watch my channel, you know I'm not super organized. I just kind of go, so let's go. These were some of the winners from the under 500 category. If one would stand out to me here amongst these winners, it's kind of funny. I made one regretful decision, which is that I gave it to the Tactile, which is definitely good, and like it got some extra points for being from the US. But I gave it to it over the TW Price Dawn V2, which, man, I kind of picked on it for some sort of inconsistency on detent, but dude, this is just such a good one. So under 500 bucks, I'm going to give this to the Dawn V2. So let's get some of these out of here and make some room all over the place here. And then we'll get into it. But here are some of the other winners, and definitely missed this guy. Fantastic action. The Hinder is right up there as well with the TW Price Dawn, I think. And actually this Quiet Carry Drift is pretty damn good. If there's a washer and a bearing knife, that'd probably be my washer knife under 500. It's freaking really good. But let's keep going. So now category 500 to 750, which is such a cool category of knives. There are a bunch in that category, by the way, that I don't have here, so I cannot include them, unfortunately, but I do have some really cool ones. One of the ones that I was excited to include in this here is this guy, the Triaxis Midnight, so let's throw him out there. Here we have the A2 Knives A9, really neat knife, amazing action on that guy. We are going to pull out the DLC, but it doesn't really matter. Just any version of the Evo that's under 1,000. Whew, oh, so good. The Koenig Arius, that is a strong competitor for this 500 to 750 range. This is kind of an updated version. Like these are actually even normally under 500, but this is kind of a custom version that was over 500, the Brian Brown or BBK Knives Raptor. What else do I have here? Under 500, or I'm sorry, under 750. You know, there were some, I don't know if this one was as close. Brown Knives, Cortex that were under, so I'll throw this in here, and it may even compete in the 750 to 1,000 also, because there were some that are above. Oh, Demko 80/20 full size for sure. Let's get that in there. And SPK Lamia. This is a very competitive segment, as you can see. This is, you don't want to mess around with this segment. In fact, let's go ahead and put the Cortex in the next segment, just so we have more competitors in that next segment, because there's so many in this one. And what we'll actually put in this one is the Brown Knives Mini FSD. Gosh, that is a lot of knives, and I still have one really key one, the Oz Roosevelt. You know what, I think we may have to break this segment up because it is just insane. There's just too many good knives in this segment. How do I break this up? I don't know if I can. Yeah, let's rank these, because this is just so crazy. So for me, gosh, Rosie's so good. This guy, the Brown Knives Mini FSD, could easily take the cake on this one. The Koenig Arius on the drop is probably the best in this group. It's insanely drop shut, so that one probably takes the cake on the drop. The Evos are amazing both directions and could easily compete for this. And man, the A2 is really good, lesser known out of South Africa, but man, the action on this thing is really good. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate him first, so we'll take him out of there. He's really good, but it's a little light feeling. The Traxxas Midnight's really good, like very rosy-like, a little more sucks it in, like vacuum drop shut than the rosy, but a little less consistent, I feel like. So I'm going to take this guy out of there, but he's damn good on the action. Really, really good on that knife. And put him safely away. That one's Traxxas Midnight number 4, the 4th one ever made, so I try and be careful with that one. Demko got into the under 500, but man, these USA made full titanium versions are definitely on another level. I would love to make another category 500 to 700 and have this one just win it. Maybe that's what we need to do. 500 to 700. Who else is in there? The Lamia's in the 500 to 700 range. There are some of these guys in the 500 to 700 range. And then, you know, just not kind of bringing a couple back. These guys are above 700. So we're going to go above 700 over here, below 700 over here. Gosh, so many good ones. I think you can get an Arius. You know, the Arius Plain Jane is actually 650 bucks. So I think that's the one, honestly. It's really close between the Arius and the, probably the Evo is probably a little better action than the Demko, if we're being totally honest. There's different, but the Arius, I think, probably takes the cake for me here. There's some things I don't like about it, but man, that thing is amazingly drop shot, and I think that one takes the cake for me here. Now, unfortunately, I just sold my, so we'll take these guys out. Unfortunately, I just sold my one that would be very competitive here. It's a flipper-only knife, but Grimsmo Rask. That one would have been very competitive for this next group, which is the over 700 group here. Prices on these guys have gone 700 plus now. So this next group is 700 to, should we call it like 800 and then do an 800 above? I think we need to. So 700 to 800 bucks, that's this group here. Is there anything else I have that's in that price range? Yeah, let's put the, it's unfortunate for Brown Knives, but he's going to compete against himself here. 2 models is pretty impressive. I don't think there's anyone else that I'm calling out 2 models here, so pretty neat for that brand. So let's have at it on this one. This is a tough group also to choose from. The Brown Knives Cortex is just one of the most insane actions ever made on a knife. So smooth. This one's more of the fun category, but man, just a really amazing action. Also on the Mini FSD, the A289, we already eliminated it, so I'm just going to take it out, but the very good action again. But let's not belabor that one too much for now, since we're, you know, somewhat against the timeline. Brian Brown is no longer in this. This was in the lower category, so get that out of here. So yeah, it's really down to these 3, and man, the Rosie, one of my favorite actions on a knife. Oh, gosh, these are all so good in their own way. The only thing about this guy is it sometimes drops just a little too fast on the first part of the drop. The second part is totally hydraulic, but the first part's a little too fast, so I'm going to eliminate it for that more than anything else. So it's really down to these 2 guys, and gosh, there's something so satisfying about that guy. But I'm gonna have to give this one to the Rosie. Yeah, Rosie gets it just slightly. These 2 could, you know, hit me on one day versus another, and I'll probably pick that one. All right, next category. That was, we call that like 700 to 800. This is up to $1,000. So up to 1,000, we have the SMF Performance, the VC Edge interface. What else do I have in this category? Bear with me a minute. This is out of the category. Now, I think at the time, this sham was in the category. So maybe I put this old sham into this one. Put this older sham in here, and then the newer sham is now 1100. I don't know if they were always 1100. Maybe they were, but I'm pretty sure these older shams were under $1,000. So I'll include this older sham in here. Yeah, let's do that, and then we'll work our way up from there. So these are now, the new ones are now 1100, so some of this competition is a little out of date, but man, this is amazing action on this guy. So good on that. You can just see this guy pretty much is going to lose straight up. It's pretty damn good, but I don't think it's quite on the level of these other two knives. My opinion, of course. If you're a Strider fan, don't take it personally. This is really great on the action. Really nice. You know, one of the really cool things about this knife is that it's such good action. I'm pretty sure it's a washer knife, like these thick washers that it has in there or something. But yeah, I'm gonna take that one out. So that one does not get the win here. Throw it in its case. Forgot to include one of my other knives over here, so let me just get that out before I forget it. So yeah, these two right here are both so good, and these two both compete in this category and the next category. So I'll just pick one of them because one of them is going to win one and one of them is going to win the other, candidly. But I think of these two in particular, the VC Edge interface is just so amazing for what it does. This is a little smoother, but there's something amazingly satisfying about that. So I'm going to give that category to the VC Edge interface. So let's jump to the next category, 1,000 and above. We've got the Shark Knife Co. Waka. We've got the new Spiro sham. That other sham was on bearings. This one's on washers. Throw up the Spiro on that for you. What else do we have in this 1,000 plus category? We have the insane action of the Reuben Roan, the amazing action of the these guys are getting really expensive here, but we'll just call it one category above 1,000. But the Rockstead Higo 2 CF, XCF in this case. Yeah, these are three really amazing knives. Obviously, this category is very expensive, getting over $1,000, but these are quite good. I'm gonna say the Waka is good, but it's not quite as smooth as some of these others. So I'm gonna take it out, although it's a great action. It's not quite as smooth. Oh man, that thing is hard to compete with. Now this one's extremely broken in, so it has a little advantage versus the other guy here. And I don't know how good this guy would be if the blade wasn't so damn heavy, but it is damn good. But man, if you haven't handled one of these, there's something so remarkable. And this particular run, the December of 2022 run, where they did these 3-inch Spiro Cheka blade shape on washers that are just freaking insane. And yeah, this thing's got to take it. It is just one of the most insanely good action knives I've ever handled. One of the prides of my collection for sure. Close second on this one for that Rockstead. It is just a delight. Insane. Whew, yeah, quite a bake-off here. I have moved a lot of more expensive knives that I just didn't, weren't my top knives. My Morpheus from Holt is in for Spa right now, so that's not here. And then I just sold that Grimsmo Rask, which could have for sure competed. I mean, so many knives on this table are amazing. I'd recommend pretty much everything you saw here today. But these are going to be the winners here. So the under 500 category, the TW Price Dawn. To the over 1,000 category, the Rosie, no surprise, makes it onto the list. And then the VC Edge Interface. These are just all such amazing knives that have such a delightful deployment. From $295 for this TW Price Dawn, just so snappy and precise, to the just remarkably drop shut action of the Koenig Arius. It's you know, a very heavy blade, so it gets some advantage there, but my gosh, that thing is pretty wild. The Oz Roosevelt, more controlled than the Arius, not as drop shut, a much lighter blade. If it had that weight of a blade, this thing would be drop shut too, I imagine. But for what it is, a 3-ounce knife, gosh, this thing is just always an insane pleasure to handle. The VC Edge Interface, again, talk about what you can do with an insanely light knife. This is a 1.5 ounce knife, half the weight of the Rosie, with a bigger knife in cutting edge. It is an engineering marvel, and the action is just surprising to everyone that handles it. And then lastly, the most expensive and probably the best action of the group, just so insanely refined, the you know, very new version of a Gareth Bull Chamois, or you know, a Spiro Sham in this case, on washers, is just one of the most remarkable and satisfying and precise actions of any knife I've ever held, and wins that top category. So I hope you enjoyed this. These are some of the best knives I've ever handled, along with a bunch of others that honestly catch me on one day versus another. Could have ended up in here, like the Brown Knives Cortex, or the Evo could have, you know, easily taken this guy out, or this guy out rather. So yeah, you can't go wrong with anything that you just saw here. Now, am I telling you to go pay crazy secondary pricing? No. But a lot of them, like this guy here, the Koenig Arius, and the Rosies, are starting to come down. They're not too crazy on the secondary Dawns you can get for MSRP. I'd, you know, recommend any one of these knives at the right price to have in your collection. So hope you enjoyed that. Really great action on this whole group here, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.